Welcome to another episode of the Kitchen Table Podcast. I'm your host, Coach,
Miss V, 2 E's.
and we here to give you real, raw, authentic conversation, unfilterized, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And you can go follow us on all streaming platforms at kitchen_table_podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music. All right. And we're going to get right into this thing. We want to first go and bring up some past podcasts. We had a podcast last week that actually went pretty well.
That's the episode.
Last week that actually went pretty well. We had pretty good views and we had a lot of comments directed towards my beautiful wife. And we want to address those comments, or should I say, she wants to address those comments, or should I say we? Because I don't know if she's going to address those comments.
I'm not going to address any comment that I didn't really understand if it was about me or not. So,
Well, they were.
it wasn't about me unless you said it was about me. You tagged me in it.
They said she.
I didn't see no she's in the comments.
She was the only one talking at the time, but it was funny. I had her
He's a
back.
hater.
I was laughing at some of them. So if you can recall back about the WNBA comment that my wife made.
And did, and I still stand 10 toes down on what I said.
She should. So she made a comment about basically about equal rights and everything. And I was trying to explain to her the process of how the WNBA is working. And I was giving it the quote unquote PC version. Just for conversation purposes. But the people in the comments did not hold back.
It felt like they held back to me because, again, I ain't read none of the comments that you read, apparently.
They said, you don't know
comments.
what the hell you talking about.
Your mama.
I'm exaggerating.
And that's how I felt about them.
And, but it's all fun. She did say some things that I want to clarify.
We got to clarify nothing on my behalf because I said what I said.
I don't have to clarify, but what I am going to do is I am going to
elaborate on some things that I said.
I was going to say that, elaborate on some things. So I want to elaborate and say, the WNBA is not making money due to A, it's still a new process. B, they don't have a lot of revenue coming in. And so the owners are in debt due to, they not paying out of pocket. They getting loans to own these companies. So they in debt trying to pay these loans off and try to pay all the other stuff that goes involved with the contracts of the players. So as of right now, like I said previously, that I believe within the next 3 to 5 years, you will see an increase in revenue, which will allow the owners to pay these players. As of right now, the revenue is not coming in, so they cannot pay the players. Okay. And so somebody told me that, and we're going to leave this at sports, no more sports, because somebody said, your wife need not to be talking about sports.
That's what not to talk about, because what y'all not going to do is tell me I can't talk about sports. I talk about sports if I want to, and they ain't broke. So y'all can kick rocks. And if I said I want to talk about sports, I can talk about sports. If I say LeBron James is LeBron James and he a mustard, he a mustard. If I say the WNBA needs to be paid more, I said what I said. Y'all, if y'all don't like it, leave it in the comments. Suckers. Because I don't read those no way.
Are you done?
Yes, kinda. I might be, depending on if you say something else, depending on how I feel.
So we are no longer going to be talking sports on this show.
Don't tell me when I can know.
Unless it's something that's dealing with LeBron James, that he did something very phenomenal. But in that, we won't be talking sports. This will be a sports-free zone, unless my wife brings up another great topic like she did. I think it was a wonderful topic because we got to know things. Because I didn't know that the women's NCAA had to go for it. I know that you taught me something, and so I do appreciate that. You taught me a valuable note there.
I hear what you're saying, and what I'm not about to do is let the people on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok tell me what I can and cannot do. So just for that, we gonna talk sports. Every episode, we're gonna do 7 minutes worth of sports.
First of all,
I don't even know 7 minutes worth of sports, but I'll watch every sports game just so I can say I watch sports. Tell me we ain't gonna talk sports on a podcast that I said I could talk about anything I want to talk about on. That's crazy and sad.
are you done?
No.
Keep going.
The WNBA has been open for 28 years since 1990. Well, it established, I guess, in 1996, but it's been open and they've been running for 28 years. So what y'all saying to me, for the last 28 years, they ain't made no money? They just been playing the players?
So you
That's all I'm
said,
saying.
when did it get established?
It was founded in 1996, and they didn't start really doing much until 1997, the following year. So that's 28 years. Y'all telling me that they ain't been playing they just ain't making no money?
So you know when the NBA started? NBA started in probably
Okay, brother.
the 20s and 30s, I don't know. But they didn't start making money until the 90s.
I don't believe that.
That's true. These players were having full-time jobs as they were playing in the NBA. They would have full-time jobs. They were
Well, the black players, yeah.
even the white players had, because even back in when the Bulls did when Michael Jordan and the Bulls did that little thing a couple years ago, and how they was talking about what they used to do at halftime. They used to drink, smoke, have women in the locker rooms. All this stuff was going on in the 80s, early 90s, late 80s, before they actually started to crack down on a lot of stuff. The Showtime Lakers used to have parties at halftime. I watched one of those little episodes, but
Well, the NBA really didn't get started until 1946. So, not the 1920s.
well,
1946.
NCAA started in Naismith started basketball in the, I think. I don't know. I'm not a what you want to call that, a history person, so I couldn't tell you. But in other news,
In other news,
we gonna get off of that.
skip y'all. I still stand on that. Skip y'all.
But in other news, have you seen the post about Swizz Beatz? Now, Swizz Beatz revealed that Alicia Keys turned down millions of dollars, blank check that she could have wrote herself, whatever, however you want to say it, to spend time him. Now, how much money would you?
That's a different situation because she already had money, so she don't need to get more money for a mini performance when she already got it. So she like that little payment ain't gonna make me nor break me. Cause one, I got money. I'm still getting residuals off of music that she had from Timbuktu. So a blank check ain't gonna do her no. What that's gonna do for her? She's still getting monies, so it don't pay her. Now, never mind. Now, me on the other hand, I'd leave you for a good 20 minutes for about, I'd take a blank check for a couple mil, yen hundreds.
Yeah, because we ain't got no money.
Exactly. So if I had money, don't be saying I ain't got no money in my pockets, because my pockets is blessed and full of bountiful. Ooh, man, put teas with me.
I didn't know your fee was over there, but if we was rich like them,
then it wouldn't necessarily, and we spend our time together is important. So if I had plans and we had plans, I'm gonna hang out with you instead.
So is that love, or is that just she didn't really want to
love
go, or
that's
did she not really
commitment.
want to go to? She did not really want to.
We don't
do
know
that
what her
performance.
mindset was.
It was
only
a
got Swizz
9-minute
Beatz.
performance. Maybe she didn't
Exactly.
want to do. Maybe it really wasn't. Maybe it wasn't 9 million. Cause who paying somebody $1 million a minute? $1 million a minute?
Keys.
A
I mean, she don't sound as
million
good as she used
dollars
to.
a minute?
Yeah. Maybe that's what they felt like she was worth. And
A
maybe that's what she feels like
million
she worth.
dollars?
$1 million a minute. So
Man,
give me my money.
I
What
would
am
have told for it's $1 million a minute. Hey, babe, where you gotta be at? All right. Uh, meet me over here. Okay. And we gonna spend 9 minutes at this concert. I'm gonna put on anything. We'll perform 9 minutes, and then we gonna catch the jet with the check to go wherever you want to go.
But that's if you got the coin, why wait?
But yeah,
Why waste your time if you
but
already got the coin?
what would you give up? See, this goes back to the topic of last week because what they're doing is it's a compromise versus a sacrifice. So, what would you compromise or sacrifice in our day now that you will say, I'm not gonna do that because I want to go spend time with my husband?
Work.
Well, that is work for her,
Exactly.
but
So
outside of
my
work,
work,
like
I
outside of
would
work,
sacrifice going to work.
it's hard for me to sacrifice going to work. It is because I be thinking of I think of more than just I think of more than just okay. Like if we ain't seen each other, like if I worked on a Saturday like you, okay, I'll probably take off early or something like that. But it's hard when we are not at that financial level to be like, I'm not gonna go to work. I'm gonna spend time. But like if we was I'm trying to get to I have a goal in mind. So it's hard right now. That's what I'm saying. It's hard right now to be like, I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm not gonna go to work today to spend time with my wife. It's hard.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not.
Because at the end of the day,
You come first.
no, that's not what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if you was to drop dead today, they would find someone to replace you the very next day. So why sacrifice all of your time? You spending all your time at work, you spending all your time worrying about where the next dollar gonna come from. But if you died, what they wouldn't care. So why you so worried about that? Why you so worried about that? Don't go to work. Be like, cause I ain't going. True, because they don't care about. They don't. They will fire you or you and wouldn't give two blinks of a monkey about you. So why I got to be sacrificed for them?
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But it's
it.
more of a I get what you're saying. So I'm not gonna I shouldn't say that I wouldn't sacrifice. Cause I would. Like if you was like, hey babe, I just want can you just stay home today? That's just hang out. All right. We got time. But if it's like, all right, babe, we gotta go. We got something set that we have set in stone. It'll be hard. I'm gonna get out of that. Cause I'm digging myself into a hole. Let me reel it on back. Reel it on back.
Cause
Reel it back.
I don't know what you diving into, but I was gonna let you take it there. I'm like, this nigga tripping.
All right. And so you want to get into the our challenge? You want to start that off? We can go into that first.
We can go into our challenge.
You know, to see who was up on a challenge, who actually was. Was we supposed to listen to R&B or R&B and hip hop?
You were supposed to listen to whatever you felt the need to listen to that you started off at the
Hold on, babe.
Book of Revelations.
Just pause. Look straight at me. Now you see how beautiful she looked right there. You know, your camera view looked better than my camera view.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I got you on the camera only because I wanted to admire the gorgeousness.
It get on my nerve. As I was saying,
as she was saying, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were supposed to listen to an album or a song or songs that you reflected with at the beginning stages. So, like, the earlier stages of you is what you were supposed to be listening to. So, let's say my very first album that I purchased with my own CD money, I was like 9. I got my very first, it was actually a cassette tape because it was cheaper than the CD, but it was Kurt Franklin and the Family. Guess we was churchy.
You bought
And
a
it
Kurt
was,
Franklin.
yes.
Everybody had it. So you bought an album that probably your grandma, your mom already probably
My
had.
grandma didn't have it because my grandma didn't listen to Kurt Franklin. She said he was too secular
See?
to her, and he wasn't. She wanted us to listen to Yolanda Adams and No Alabaster Boxes, which also had that CD.
She didn't realize that Yolanda Adams, it was more like, wasn't it like Music Soul Child wrote some stuff for her back in the 90s? It was a lot of people writing. Kurt Franklin was right for Yolanda Adams, wasn't she? I don't know.
I don't think you know who Yolanda Adams is.
I don't know who Yolanda Adams is. I was about to say, and I am telling you. That ain't Yolanda
That
Adams.
is not Yolanda Adams.
That's not Yolanda.
She said, well, I am telling you.
What's that one song she had off that one? I don't even remember one album back in the early 2090s, late 90s. I don't remember it, but I couldn't tell you. So what album did you choose?
I just told you the original.
So you choose Kurt Franklin?
Yes,
I
in the
didn't hear you not
Family.
one time listening to Kurt Franklin. So that was in what, 96?
Yes, 97.
97. That's when he had those glasses on with the big lips all that too.
Hey, why you gotta make it?
They stump. In the book of Revelations, chapter 7 verses 16. Thou shalt not, I don't remember.
Verses 16 and 17. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore.
Preach, preacher.
For God shall wipe away every tear from your eye.
Ha, ha, ha.
Get ready for the revolution.
All right, after we just got out of church, 'cause we didn't go to church today, so that was the church we had.
Listen, I also didn't go to church today because I didn't want to see the CM Christians. It was not where I was trying to be today.
And I know we going to hell because we sure didn't even wish start the show off by wishing our mothers happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
And all the other mothers out there. All the mothers that were mothers to us on second, third, fourth mothers, grandmothers, grandmas.
Grandmothers and grandmas are the same.
Well,
grandmothers
I
and
call my
grandmas.
grandma grandmother. You call your grandmother grandma. What you call it? What did you call
I call my grandma granny.
Granny. See, so yeah, so and I call my dad's mom grandma. Call my mom's mom grandmother. Why is that?
I don't know.
But that's how they
do.
that's what she said. That's what she asked us to call
She
her.
wanted to be called. I want to be called Honey for my grandkids. I want them to call me Honey.
Well, we get to the first step first.
Be
first
called
step,
Honey. This man is like
after the first step, because the first step is gonna be Papa.
Papa's weird. That sounds like an old grandpa name. That's what somebody would call their grandpa, Papa. That's Papa. That's Papa Joe. That's Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Ron. Papa
Okay.
Ron. So what you listen to this week?
So what I was listening to, because we was on certain, because the first, if we go back to the first album that I purchased, it wasn't no Kurt Franklin.
I'm aware.
I didn't go back to the first album I purchased. All right, the first album I think I purchased was that Ludacris beard. What was it called? Chicken waffles and beer.
Yes.
And I think that was
a good
when he
one.
had the little chicken that thing at the grill.
He did.
The
Afro.
thing. And reason I listened to that because I came across a video on TikTok, or wasn't on TikTok or Instagram, where what's the dude name? Golly.
Well, you don't never. I thought I
Golly.
was bad.
What's
You
the
just as bad
dude?
as
Crap. What's that one album? What's that one song when they was all in the club and the person was dancing on top of the stage and everybody was around them? And I forgot the name of the song too. Because I wasn't going to talk about that song, that album. I was going to talk about what I actually listened
Wait,
to.
I don't know. You terrible at
I am
charades.
terrible at charades. But yeah, it was. I was going to listen to that album, but I came across that video and the person that was dancing on the stage, everybody thought it was a girl, but it actually was a dude.
What is this album you are referring
Man,
to?
it's his first. The one album he had.
You talking about Ludacris?
Yeah, Ludacris. And so, let me pull up because
now I want to see.
I want to see the video. I don't even know how to work it there. But if we find that video of dang, it's the dude that be with he got the podcast with on Barstool with God damn. We see now it's gonna be stuck on my head. It's gonna be stuck on my head. And I'm gonna have to get out because we gonna find this out. We gonna find this song. So what was that? What was called?
It's
Word
called
of, no, it was
which one?
called
Chicken
I
and
think
Beer?
it was no Chicken and Beer was one I bought.
Okay. You
But
thinking about
yeah. But I think it was Stand Up. When I move, you move.
just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that. Tear us down. They was in the club in that
They was in the club in that song, but it was a dude. Yeah, here you go, right here. Let me find it. I'll see.
Featuring Shauna. Stand up.
Because when they was on the thing dancing, let's see if it pops up. Cause we ain't gonna show y'all. Cause I mean we might show y'all, but once I get to it and I see it, they was dancing. Everybody was looking, and the person on like the strip on the was dancing.
I mean, for it to start playing.
I don't know. Once I find it, I ain't gonna find it. But what's the dude? I can't think of the dude name though. But yeah, I can't think of the dude name. But he's the one. He in Philly. He from Philly. You remember Philadelphia versus the Chiefs? The dude had the big hat on his head. Y'all know what I'm talking about when y'all see it. But he was actually dancing on the pole on the stage. And
in that video?
Yeah, in that video. I think it was that video, but he was dancing, he was popping the booty. And I was like, I ain't listening to that. And the person on the video was like, for years, we used to go back and forth, because you remember back in the day, it wasn't no TiVo, you could rewind, fast forward, shit like that, pause and stuff like that. You remember you had to put the cassette tape in the thing,
yes,
hit the rewind button.
Yes.
And you could, and so then what the dude was like, I finally got cassette tape, put it in a VCR, recorded it. But all the homies, because he said they was talking about it for weeks. And then when it came on, he recorded it. And then he had all his friends over there. They put it in slow motion. He was like, man, that's what's the name? It's a dude on the stage popping his booty. Yeah, but
it's a lot of people on. It's a lot of men on stage right now popping their booty.
And so I didn't listen to that. So I ended up listening to my favorite album. I had to start off my favorite album. Did I buy it legally? No. He had that line wired.
And messed up your computer. You got it.
I think I did buy it though, but did I buy it legally? I think I paid like $5 for it. Cat went home, put it on, made the CD for me, had it in the Walkman with the headphones on. In the 9th grade, that Carter 2, baby, I listened to that all week. That's my favorite album. That is my favorite album. That was the last time, in my opinion, when they was talking about ghostwriting stuff, because he went from the Carter 1 to Carter 2, he was spitting bars. The intro, 5 minutes, no hook. The outro, 5 minutes, no hook. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back and I listened to that whole album I listen to that album about dang near every day at the gym. Every day. Even when I was at work.
It's a great album.
It's a great album. So the Carter 2, I listen to that every day. I give you my because you didn't give me your favorite song off of, but my favorite song off of the Carter 2 is Feel Me. And that's when he was doing the interview. And he was, man, I should have wrote down some lyrics. But you know, he was spitting in that one. He was spitting in that one. What was your favorite album off of you know,
my favorite album or my favorite song off
favorite
the
song
album?
off of the album, that the Kurt Franklin?
Go back to it because it was Revolution was the name of the album. Is the name of the album. And
get money or get nothing. You know what I'm saying? I feel that way. The game's so crazy, gotta keep pushing like deep pussy.
See how we was two totally different people? Because I was trying to get closer to Jesus, and he was trying to get closer to hoo-ha. Two totally different people. But my favorite song on that album was Riverside, which was great. It's a great song. If you haven't heard it, you should go hear it. Again, it's, you know, it's an old song. It's a very old album. If y'all don't remember, it came out in 1998. 98.
98.
Yes.
How old was I in 98?
You was 8. Or about to be 8.
And how old was you in 98?
I was 10. Or I was, depending on what time his album came out, I was about to be 10. So I was grown.
You wasn't grown.
But that was my favorite song off that album. It was great. And the whole album was my favorite. It was a great album, low key, from start to finish, all 17 songs, start to finish. But it was good. I listened to it all the time.
Well, that's good. I listen to it. I actually do listen to Kurt Franklin.
Bringing that into the challenge portion, seeing that your music that you were listening to was secular and the music that I was listening to was Kurt Franklin, and it was holy. At least that's what I was saying that it was holy. That brings you to our next little segment into, like, is music spiritual? Is secular music considered ungodly? I would say some secular music, I would say, is like, whew, that Sexy Red is a little extreme for me. And I would say that's extremely ungodly. But some music is just like the words, you have to listen to the words in the song to consider if you feel like it's ungodly or not. Or if it's like, secular music is bad. Because not all secular music is bad. Because I wasn't always listening to Jesus. I had to listen to that when my grandma was around. But when she wasn't around, you know, we was playing everything. You know, we was trying to listen to everything. And, you know, you got the tape that played. You got the 2 sets of the cassette tape. And you got one side had the God music on it. And the other cassette side had your secular music, as we would call it. And then when she came in, you press play on the secular, on the godly side. And you hear it coming. Got, we was listening to Welcome to the House. With your arms stretched out, you like, yeah, so she come in the room. And then, you know, you got older, and then you was like, I play what I want to play. But I don't think anything was wrong with it. But on your hand, how do you feel about your secular music? Because your show was secular from the jump.
First of all, I wasn't. Well, I said it. we listened to, well, yeah, you know, grandma. We wasn't listening to none of that. We had headphones, but I used to listen to, remember Hot 103 Jams?
Hot 103 Jams all the time.
You had the radio, had a tape player in there. You know, never called, but I never called. I ain't calling them folks.
I called 107 though.
But yeah, you know, the Hot 888. Yeah, I used to hit that record. I used to play that. But yeah, we was, man, I mean, we listened to church music. That was because of grandmother. But she wasn't at home. Well, we had that music playing through the speakers everywhere.
Whole house you jumping.
Whole house. is on fire. Really?
Yeah,
But
that was.
To me, I mean, as I got older, I jump back and forth from. I think secular music nowadays is more because it's all glorifying. So if you glorifying something that's not godly, then it's considered secular. But not all rap is glorifying. So you have some raps that when they just actually just spitting bars, they not technically glorifying anything. They just spitting true life facts and about their life.
I thought he was about to say factual information.
Well, about their life. They spitting bars about their life. So I don't think that's secular. Just because they add a little cuss word to it doesn't mean secular because they do cuss in the Bible.
When they cussing?
But I don't think. I think the way you use cuss words makes it violent. In my opinion. So I can't speak for everybody else. But in my opinion, the way you use the word, because if I'm just sitting there, just I stub my toe. So what you telling me is, okay, is that I should ask my grandma this. So what you telling me is when you was growing up and you accidentally hit your knee or hit your funny bone or stumped on something, you didn't say shit.
No, you had to say shoot.
You were like, oh,
I say gosh darn it. God darn it. Gosh. GOSH, not God. GOD.
Well,
get
whatever.
It together.
What you telling me is that she never cussed. I heard I remember some times my girl used to be, and my sister was like, Satan, get behind me.
Not Satan, get behind me. Oh no.
In the kitchen, and we stand, what's going on? My sister gonna kill me. She see this.
Yeah, she gonna take you out.
Throw that holy water at her.
Yeah, this
She made those memories, boy. That used to be, man.
terrible.
I mean, what my sister did that day. All I remember, me and my brother run out the room, and my grandma in the kitchen, and we standing behind. I was like, what's going on?
What? Not y'all being guarded from the devil. She said the devil is in that girl and I don't like it.
Get her out.
It's like, no, we about to cast out all these demons. Y'all lucky she wasn't throwing holy water at y'all.
She was though. She up in there doing all that stuff.
The devil thought he had you.
I remember when we was young, she used to before we went to school, she used to pray. We used to have to sit, hold hands, and pray. It wasn't no and as you think about it, my grandma was in her 40s.
This man making himself.
But you think about it, because what she was 70 something now,
79.
So you think I'm about to be 35, so you just think 30 years ago she was in her 40s, and I'm like, I look at her like,
what you said? What?
But you think about it though, because my whole life I be looking like, it's like Morgan Freeman. Our whole life
So
we
he
just
been
started.
old.
Yeah, you just think your whole life you think Morgan Freeman been old his whole life, but he like 5 years older than my grandma. Or 6 years, 7 years old. How is he? He about 80, what? No, he about 10, 20 years. He
I
like
don't know
10.
how old Morgan Freeman
I think Morgan
is.
Freeman like 85.
He been having gray hair my whole life.
Yes. And when he was in Lean on Me, he looked at old, but he was in like his 40s with Lean on Me.
Yeah, he was in his early 40s.
Yeah.
He just look old. There's some people that just look old.
But my grandma don't look old though. Cause my grandma, she when we was young, like she
was young. I know my grandma and my grandpa didn't look old when they was young either. When I was young, I was like, they look good. Shoot, my grandma and grandpa look good, honey. They handsome and beautiful.
Yeah, we used to have to just sneak and listen. We had turned down real low. But I remember when that confession came out, I used to be in the bed. I used to be in the room just singing like, and this is my confession. Let it burn. Have a little weights. I used little weights too when I was in elementary school, middle school.
Ow. Wow. Not elementary school and middle school.
I used to live. I remember we taking it back. I know my mom, my brother gonna probably say something about it too. I remember downstairs in the basement, we had a a little mini basketball goal, right? One of the little old school toy basketball goals. It'd be ducking at a mug and shoot. And remember when we got older, we went down there. I touched the damn ceiling. This walking touched the ceiling. But at that time, you're so small, a little bit. And so I remember one day, I think it was like winter break. I mean, it was either winter break, summer break. It was a break from school. All right. And so I remember drawing up a free throw line with a marker and a 3-point line with.
Oh my God.
I put tape. First I started with tape. First I started with tape. And then I ran out of tape. So then I took a marker.
I hope you got a whooping.
I don't remember if I got a whooping or not. I don't remember. I don't remember if I got a whooping.
You should have.
That. Oh yeah, I got in trouble though. I remember that. I got in trouble. But that brought up that was the main reason why I'm gonna go back to the Chicken and Waffles because that was the first album I bought. Right. That album, I got the worst whooping of my life and the last whooping of my life off that album because I was in 5th grade when that album came out. So I took it. We had a sub.
Oh,
and I think we had the sub. I think the sub was there all week or something like that. Elementary school, 5th grade. Was it 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade? I think it was one of them. And put the CD I put the CD inside the computer in the monitor, and I went and hid in the closet because the doors was like folded, in the old school days, the doors used to open and used to fold shut like this.
The accordion doors. Yes.
And I played this because the first song off the album was it The Waterfall? It was something. It was like, ooh, man.
Oh my God, he about to get in trouble.
I forgot what it said, but it was all F-bombs. I'm talking about, man, my dad came pick me up from school that day, and man, he told my butt up. He told. I'm talking about. It was one of those whoopings where he picked me up because he had just got off work. He picked me up. Remember, he lived all the way on the Missouri side. He picked me up in Wyandotte. When he worked, I don't remember where he was working at. Where I think it was all the way out in Liberty, and he drove because he was at the warehouse at that time. He drove all the way from Liberty, picked me up in Wyandotte. They drove me all the way to Grandview, right? And he said, "Don't turn the TV on." I went downstairs. And I just laid there, like, and then he takes his nap. He comes. He said, "All right, we gotta take you home." He's like, "All right." He came back downstairs, like, "All right, come on." I was like, "I'm thinking we about to leave." He was like, "Nah, come here." He told my ass.
You thought you was getting away with that, didn't you?
But anyway,
Thought you was
way home, boy. I'm sitting in the seat side.
Now I'm sitting in the seat sideways.
And then I get home and my brother and my sister, hey man, they went in on my ass, boy. I'm like, man, I can't sit.
Like, yeah.
I ain't got whooping stick. That was the last whooping, boy. Yeah, that brought back memories off of that album. Yeah,
that's out of hand. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect those whoopings. I didn't get a lot of whoopings for music. I got whoopings for my mouth.
I can see that.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is, sucker. Well, I have a question for you. Would you rather go face to face with a bear or be in a prison shower?
Hold on, go face to face with a bear
in the woods.
Or just be in a prison shower?
Yep.
I'm gonna be in a prison shower because that bear would kill me. I already know. This is why I don't go. This is why I ain't stepping foot in no more jails. No more. I take a one good powder. Instead of get eaten by a bear.
But how you know you gonna be pound?
Hold on,
beat
but
down
hold
in the
on.
prison shower?
Hold on, rewind.
Oh, yeah.
I froze up too. So hold on. So what size bear is this?
I didn't tell you what size bear. I just said you have to be face to face with a bear in the woods or in the shower in prison.
Okay, so what type of bear is this?
It don't matter what type of bear it is. It's a black bear, the most
Is it
deadliest bear.
Is it a cub? A cub?
It's an adolescent.
I don't know what that is. That's
So
just
he's not full grown, and he's not a child either. You know that stage where you like, I can take you, but I can't take my daddy. That stage.
Okay, so
He not at full grown, and he not small either. And the guy in the prison shower, you butt naked. He trying to take you. So you think you're gonna take the bear, or you gonna take the dude in the prison shower?
so what I got? What type of
You
weapons
ain't got
I
no
got?
weapons.
You said, hold
You
on.
ain't got no weapons.
Hold on. So would you tell me I got a decal bear barehanded, and I can fight this Hulk looking Undertaker in the shower?
Yep.
I'm gonna take my chances in the shower because I'm gonna kick his ass.
I'm taking my chances with the bear.
Because guess what? Well, for
You
you,
in the woods. You
But-
could run.
you didn't give all that detail.
What
You
you
said face
trapped
to
in a
face.
small area in the shower.
Man, you
Or you in the woods. Why wouldn't you think to run in the woods?
do you know how fast a bear can go?
Not if he an adolescent. You can run faster than a bear.
And he can call his peoples.
Exactly. Well, he got to roar first.
But think about it. All right. Well, you didn't say I had space to run.
I
Yeah, I'm.
said you in the woods.
I'm
But nah,
gosh.
you rather go to prison and fight off
But if I'm
the
in the
Hulk.
But if I'm in
Yeah.
prison, I'm fighting somebody. Guess what I'm hitting? We already naked. I'm going straight foot to the groin. Hardcore. And once he get, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna twist and I'm gonna pull it.
See,
I'll be like, I'm gonna break it in half. I'm gonna slap it with it. Bam. You better get off me. You go blood everywhere. But I can't do that with no bear. That's what I was thinking. But now since you said that I can run, nigga, I'm taking out running. Speedy gun glass on that ass.
I don't understand what that extra. That's not even the noise Speedy Gonzalez makes. That's not his noise.
That's
I don't know
what
what
he
that
did.
was. That's not.
I'm gone.
So, but you originally said you was gone.
Well, because you ain't telling me all the facts. You just said, I'm thinking, nigga,
You
we
don't
about to
need
go.
the facts.
I'm thinking I'm gonna square up with you.
I
Take
didn't say that you was mystical and you said help the bear. That's not what I said. I didn't say mystical, fight the bear. I said you in the woods with a bear, face to face in the woods with a bear, or you in a prison shower. And you said take the prison shower.
Well, because you wasn't giving all the facts. Now that I
did
know
give
the facts, I'm gonna be in the woods with the bear. How far? Where am I at in the woods? Where am I? Am I in the woods up the street?
We don't have bears in the woods.
Or if I'm in the
got
woods
coyotes.
I'm up in the Himalaya mountains somewhere.
You can't run. You can run faster than a bear sometimes. If you have snacks, you could throw snacks out on the ground.
Well,
to
see,
distract
you
the
said
bear.
I was. You
But no, homie, I didn't say
I
that.
asked you what I
asked you
had.
the
I said what I got. You said nothing.
Would you rather? It was a would you rather question. You didn't put your thinking cap on. You automatically put your thinking cap on in a would you rather. You decided not to put your thinking cap on and tried to take
Look
the
at my
easy
face.
way out.
Look at my face.
I am looking at your face.
Look at my
And I'm
face.
telling you, fighting in the shower wouldn't be the easy way out because the water is running. You could slip. You could fall.
You already know I'm
naked.
going. You already know I'm going in my tennis shoes on. I ain't put my feet on the ground. You already know I'm going in there with my tennis shoes on.
You can't put. I don't think they're gonna let you have Nikes in the prison.
Man,
Well,
so you telling me I can't have no
that's not
shoes
the
in
type
jail?
of prison that you gonna be in.
I ain't going. First of all,
Well,
I ain't going
that's
back
not the
to
type
jail.
of prison that they were talking about. They talking about the type of prison we talking about is y'all got one room, one exit, small, and the Hulk trying to take you.
Nigga, we are in. I ain't doing no crime. If I gotta do a crime, I gotta be in a high max security Think I'm taking the easy way out.
What?
To spend the rest of my life.
Who said you was in high max security? How you know you wasn't just there being held? You automatically taking the worst ways out.
I'm automatically taking the
You know,
worst.
that's out of
It
hand.
is.
That's out of hand. I
But-
just don't understand because I'm running from the bear and I'm gonna make sure I got snacks while I'm in the woods.
Are you in?
Yes, because people go into the woods and they hike. That came from a video that I watched this man trying to feed a bear with his bare hands. And he was throwing food out at the bear. And then the bear was like, this is delicious. Thank you. And then he realized he still had the big bag of food and attacked the guy with the bear. The bear was like, got your ass now. And the video ended. And I was like, oh my God, yo dumb self. And yes, of course, he was palm colored. Yeah. Because Black people don't just be out there feeding bears all willy nilly by hand.
No.
I mean, I don't know. Some days I be worried about some of the Black people in the world that be doing white people stuff.
Like yourself.
I don't do white people stuff, not on purpose. Crazy? Who gonna do white people stuff on purpose? No.
So with that, what do you think? What animal do you think has the calmest voice and the rudest voice?
What animal do I think has the calmest voice and the rudest voice? The calmest voice, I would say it's an elephant because they big, but you don't play with them. I take that back. I take it back. I'm gonna say a hippo has the calmest voice because a hippo tear you apart with no remorse, and them the main ones that be like, roll up on me if you want to, and they so nice and cool with you and be like, it's all right, go ahead, and then they crush you like they do a whole watermelon. But an elephant is also dangerous, but they voice is probably like, I'll whoop your butt. You don't want none of this. I'll take this little they trunk and spin it around and knock you on your shoulders, but they won't fight you unless it's necessary. But a hippo is like way more calm and cool because they be just hanging out in the water, rolling around in the mud, and then you roll up on them and they like, hey, you need to chill out, bro. You need to chill out because I don't want to beat you up on your birthday. And they be like, you not. And he like, all right, say less. Roll up on me if you want to. And now the hippo didn't tore all your limbs off because you rolled up on them on their birthday. And it was your birthday. Now you beat up on your birthday. That's terrible.
Well. Well, to me, I think the one with the calmest voice are what's those two-legged speedy things?
Two-legged speedy things.
What's on that one that Liberty commercial?
And emu.
Emu. What's the name of it though? Because I think they got the calmest voice.
It's an emu.
It's emu. Emu.
An emu is the name of the animal.
I think they got I think that's his name.
I don't think his name is emu. I think he is an
it's
emu.
An ostrich.
An ostrich? I don't think he's an ostrich.
That shit is an ostrich.
I think his name is not emu.
It's an ostrich. Emu is his name, but it's an ostrich. I think they got the calmest.
Why? Because they scary and they run.
No, I just think because they got the little neck as long as it's too. You gotta get deep. So I think they got the very I like me sometimes when I be hitting my high pitch.
This jigger.
I think they got the calmest voice, and I think
Why?
But the ones I think with the most annoying voices are those hyenas. I think hyenas have annoying voice.
But you didn't ask for an annoying voice. You said.
But the most rudest voice, I'ma say, because I don't know a lot of animals, but I think the most rudest voice may be a horse.
Why would it be a horse?
Because horse is like, if these mofos won't get off my back
And they will just lay down with you on their back, especially if you heavy. They be like, this is too much weight. Too much weight. That's true. I'll give you that
I'm
one.
telling you.
Because I give you that.
I think gorillas, I think gorillas are sensitive.
Why would they be sensitive?
I think to be honest, I do think gorillas are sensitive. I think it's a persona. Cause you got those big those llamas, big teddy bear llamas that are in real life are very, very loving, soft, sensitive human beings. And I think that's a gorilla. I think a gorilla just act tough because they hidden behind cages. And so they got their gorilla backs out. Because they got that thing where 100 man versus 100 gorillas or something like that.
No.
Or is it 100 man versus one gorilla?
I think it's 100 man worth of one gorilla.
Versus one gorilla? Yeah, man, you won't see my name in that. Hell
I hope not. Because that's just
Anyway, I get there. What you give me? What I get?
$7.
$7. I need a $1 billion life insurance policy. A. Then B, I'm gonna need about. I want a spear. You know those things with the little thing. I need one of those.
That's a bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow. There we go.
Like, that is not a spear.
I need a bow and arrow.
On a long pole.
I need a bow and arrow that's made out of metal.
Oh, okay.
So that when that bad boy open up, I want that one. Matter of fact, I want the bow and arrow on Rocky 1. No, not Rocky. Rambo 1. Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1 or 2. I can't remember. But he had the bow and arrow and he tied it on the thing. And he shot it and it blew up. Boo! I need one of those.
Wow. So you saying you need a bomb on the end of it? And
I need that. So I hit him from a distance. Stand back, guys. I got this.
You get up my nerves. Not stand back, guys. I
have it in my kind voice.
I handle it.
Stand back, guys. Man, boy, I ain't gonna, cause that was one I seen this on Nightcap. They had this I don't know where he from, England, France. Man, if we have these countries versus states, the states of the United States. He started naming all these people, British, German. I don't know. He said like all these Amsterdam, all these countries, and then he picked 5 states in the United States. He said Cali, Chicago, New York, Louisiana, and something else. What them dogs out there doing?
I don't know. Fighting sounds like.
Technically, they ain't fighting.
Shut it up.
Well, yeah, so woo, dog.
That was. Make sure he edit that out, cause I don't know what that was.
Try to figure out. Now, I know they don't know.
Don't even go down that road.
We got okay.
Don't go down that road.
I'm sorry.
Them is not the people you gonna offend. Do not go down that road. Them is I do not. We gonna take a moment for him to compose himself. Cause tripping. He tripping. We only got 15 subscribers. We cannot go down to 1.
Yeah, we got 15 subscribers now, y'all. We gained 2 subscribers since the last podcast. And then on top of that, we went from, in 1 week, we went from 5,000 views to 7,000 views. And so we getting there. People, y'all got to go follow. Y'all go like, subscribe, comment, share. If you have an issue and you don't like the commentary that is going on our podcast, or you don't like my commentary, preferably about sports, about anything of that nature, send us an email at kitchentable.kickrocks@isaidwedon'tcare.com. Thank you. What she said. Now we're gonna flip the table. And we want to do a little episode review. Now, there's a new TV show on Netflix, which is actually starting out pretty interesting. There's nothing in there. The first couple episodes we watched, how many episodes we watched so far? I think we watched 2.
I think we watched
2 episodes so far. We might watch 3. I can't remember. It's just so long, and
We
it's so
only
much
got
going
to,
on.
we only got through 2
Okay.
episodes. It was late.
It's and the thing I like about the episode, it's called the episode on Netflix. It's called
Forever.
Forever. Okay, and the one thing I like, the reason why I can continue to watch it is because it ain't had none of that in it. It ain't had none of that. It's just so far, it's just straight and narrow.
Oh my God.
I'm just
This is the
saying.
second time he done went down that road today.
But I'm just saying, just
you
as
can't do that.
well, I'm just saying, like, why just put it on display on every show? So now that this, like, I have no problem with it being in shows because it's a part of life. Okay, it's a part of life. You got people doing. It's a part of life. But the thing is that I don't like is that why it has to be on high display on every show. Okay, so that's why I'm like, okay, I can sit and I can watch this show because it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me with, even though the thing says that it's nudity and all this other stuff, but it didn't hit you with that off the rip. You saw what I'm saying? So right now it's getting straight to the point.
I will not be interceding in this portion of the podcast.
But so we watched 2 episodes.
They was good.
They were good. And so if you haven't seen Forever on Netflix, it's a new Netflix series that just came out. And we gonna do we basically, if you haven't seen it, if you're missing out, whatever. We gonna talk about the first 2 episodes first. So the first 2 episodes is it's a lot. So it's a lot that went on. So you got a teenager that's based out of high school. They're seniors in high school, right? Are they seniors in high school? Or are they juniors in high school? I can't remember. Seniors in high school. So it's two kids who are seniors in high school who knew each other when they was little, and then they went their own separate ways to separate middle schools and high schools. They both are athletes. And so one was the girl was a track star, the boy is a basketball star. And the guy's parents is rich because I think his dad is a chef, and I don't know what the mom does. But the boy, he has some type of dyslexic. Yeah, so he can't control what he says. So what you call that?
He's not autistic.
Yeah, he was. I think he autistic. Remember,
he's autistic.
Remember that
I think
he got some type of special needs.
I don't think he's special needs either. I think he's just antisocial, and being that he goes to an all-white school, being a black boy with all white people around you, you have to put yourself into a position where you stay true to you. And so he is in that position where he's also that one black boy with all these other white people.
Yeah.
So that don't make him autistic because he needs extra time on like tests and stuff, but that don't mean he's special needs. That just means he's.
I didn't say he was special needs, but he has some type of special needs though. That's why I said
I say he's special needs,
but he has some type of special needs. He has some type of special needs. So he has he has some type of dyslexic, okay, which is a special need. Okay, so I'm dyslexic. So when I was in school, when I was in high school, they didn't talk about, no teachers really talked about the dyslexic and stuff like that. And so when I got in college is when I actually found out that I actually had dyslexic. Okay, and it really was just I had to slow down, dot my I's and cross my T's type of thing. So I used to mutter my words, put, it before they or whatever. If I say a sentence like I love you, it'll be you I love. You know what I'm saying? Or love I you. And so that was a dyslexic. Even with my reading, I would skip over words and I would say, you know what I'm saying? So he has something, because even at the first episode, he couldn't write the story. Remember, he couldn't write the story.
He just couldn't find the words to finish writing the story. Like, maybe he just didn't know what to write. I can contest to that. I have a paper due next week that I still haven't yet to right, because it's
Yeah,
I don't know
but
why I
this
liked
he
it.
even like he had to do his homework and he couldn't
And
finish homework until he started listening to the song, and then that allowed him to finish his paper. You saw what I'm saying? So he has something. Even remember they was he did the tutoring, and you was like, we both was like, well, why are they going over their vowels? You remember he was like A E. Remember? You
we
remember?
did.
So he has a, but then also he can't control the words that come out of his mouth. So remember when they went to the store, he told the girl to get whatever she wanted. She said, and he was like, he thinks she got something because he didn't want to buy something. He wanted to buy something, but he wouldn't have did it if she didn't buy anything. And then she was like, I guess I saved you a trip. And then he was like, no, I saved you. And she looked, remember?
That's not him saying.
But he
That's not him
has,
just not having compulsive. That's him being a dick.
yeah, but
because
that's, but his mom,
he
remember?
said that just to be said. He said it because he thought it was a comeback. As in, she said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get something. So I guess I saved you because you had to come to the mall and buy something. Because if they go, he said if he went to the mall, he has to come back with something. He has to buy something if they went to the mall. And so since
Yeah.
they was there, he bought it. He was like, well, at least I got something. She said, well, at least I saved you.
No, but
I saved you.
he
Like, no, I
said,
technically saved you.
he said
Rude
that
ass.
he wasn't gonna get nothing if she didn't get nothing. But remember he was talking to his mom.
Said.
Remember he was talking to his mom and he was like, sometimes how I say things I'm not, and she said it's
He
something.
said, you know how I'm you know how I can say things and be a dick about it. And she said, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Because
him.
he knew he was being a dick.
But it's his personality. It's like
not
it's
it. And he know ain't nothing wrong with that boy. He just a dick.
okay. Well, she says he's a dick. I'm thinking he has some type of compulsive.
Well,
I don't know. We'll find out.
But I don't think anything's wrong with him.
But it's a good show. The girl had a sex tape that went out. So this is where we ended at. She had the sex tape went out.
She didn't make a sex
She didn't make
tape.
a sex tape, but the dude she was dating released a sex tape.
Recorded her while she was doing the.
Yeah. And so what got me is if that's not you, that's not the type of person you is, why would they, when they went on their first date, they hung out the very next day after they reconnected at a party on New Year's Eve. They went out on New Year's Day. They did all this stuff. His friend, she knew that he knew about the tape.
What? She didn't know that he knew about the tape.
No, the friend, she knew that his best friend.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, because when they walked up past him on the street, she took away her hand.
No,
so
she didn't take away her hand because of that. She took away her hand. They both released hands.
No, she did. But why would they put the camera on the hands at the time?
They weren't in a relationship, and holding hands was given the expectation or the putting out into his friends with the other friends that they was in a relationship, and they weren't prepared to have that conversation with their friends yet. And I get that.
I mean, I get that too, but
you don't, because you trying to make it seem like she knew that she knew that his best friend knew that she had the boy had put that tape out, but he didn't, because the friend told him, I got the video from somebody else who sent me the video from somebody else.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying,
because he was at
the school with her at the same time that it happened. That's why he said I'm gonna text, because when they met up, he was smiling. He was like, oh,
I don't think
and so she looked back at him like, and that's why she said after, when they went to the movies, because this what got me. They went to the movies, and then, back in the day when you high school, you do your little thing, and so they just reconnected after not seeing each other in over 15 years or 10 years. It wasn't 15, but over 10 years or 7 years or whatever. And then she want to go down on him for the first time. You don't know what type of man. And so he was like, oh, and then she was like, I'm not a hoe, and then she's like, you knew about the video, so she automatically assumed that his friends sent her the video because he was at the school with her before she transferred out, before he transferred to that school. So that's why I said that. That's why I automatically assumed that the friend already had the video. Okay,
the friend didn't have the video.
he did. He the one that sent it to her though.
Because somebody sent it to him after they seen them together when they were walking, when the guys who he was with, the white dudes that he was with, when he seen them two together, they sent him the video to show him like, oh, this is your friend's girl. Look at your friend girl. Look what your friend girl doing. So that's why he sent it to them. And she automatically was like, when she seen those white boys, she knew this one of them was going to tell his friend.
I don't remember seeing the white boys there. But
who else was he with?
It was with another black dude. I don't remember that part. But what I'm gonna say. So then they had their own little beat.
Edit that out.
She went and did her thing and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then because she kind of in between up and down, she going through those emotions, those stages. And so she wasn't wanting to listen. And so then when he did all this stuff to get to her, to tell her that he did not know, he was sorry. He really said what he meant was like, hey, I didn't want you to do that just because I bought you something. I want you to, he really felt that she was doing it because he bought her something. And he was like, no, I don't want you to do it if this because I bought you something. I want it to be genuine and that you really wanted to do it. And so she took it the wrong way. And then once he finally went back, finally got into her, took the car over there to the school to go apologize. They reconnected. Then they was talking. And then his mom found out that he took the driver's ed card over to the school. And then so the mom took the phone, and then the mom only want him to date black women. So once once he told his dad who he was dating, and so he was like, "Oh, your mom, why you didn't leave with that?" He said, "Next time, leave that you went over there to see a black girl."
No, he said leave with her name being Keisha. That's because what white girl do you know named Keisha? I think about it, I actually know a couple of white girls named Keisha.
But and so the mom was all happy. So she said, and the girl was texting him, and so he didn't get a chance to respond back. So then she blocked him again, did all this
stuff. He was on punishment.
And then he tried to tell her, hey, I was on punishment, this and all this other stuff. And then they reconnected, and now they about to start getting in that stage of getting into a relationship. And then her ex came with her mom at his brother's baseball game that her grandpa coaches, and they walked away. He got mad with his mom because his mom knew her and knew her mom, and they and so all that happened. So
I don't like the way he do reading.
I don't like the way I did replay it because I'm just going off the rip.
Confused.
Because I was about to go into a question, because the question is like, if that ever happened to you in that situation where your ex wanted to, your ex didn't know that you was moving on, and the mom or your dad didn't know that y'all broke up or anything like that, and your mom or your dad bring your ex over to you while you talking to another person, what would you do in that scenario?
So I'm just gonna reiterate on that. Keisha's mom knew that they had broke up. Sorry. Keisha's mom knew that they weren't together anymore because he left and went to a different school because he wanted to play basketball, the boyfriend. Yeah. So if that was me in that situation, I would be like, I'm good on you for a minute. Let me go and find something else to do because I don't really mess with you like that. And then that will prompt my parent to say, well, what's the problem? And I'm like, I'll tell you later because I need to tell you anyway. And then I'd be like, what you want? Why are you here? But I have an attitude problem, so that would be me. I wouldn't be passive because Keisha passive in this show, and she's real. She's been passive in every show I've seen her in. She was also passive in Greenleaf when that light skinned boy was whooping her butt. So in high school too, she was a high school student in Greenleaf and getting her butt whooped. So
I haven't seen that
by a light skinned rapper. Yeah, that's why. Her name in Greenleaf is the name I originally wanted to name my first kid. It starts with a Z. It's cool. I ain't gonna tell people because they might try to steal it.
All I gotta do is go look at Greenleaf.
Greenleaf is a great show. You should go watch it. Most
Yeah.
people didn't like it very much because it was about a church. And any hoot, but the dude that I was with at the time and his mama, I would have been like, "Hey, I'm busy. You know my phone number. Why you ain't called, text me for buzz? I'm confused on why you're here. Have a great day."
But he
That's
left with her.
Because she was passive and was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you. And yeah, I'll go ahead and talk to you." And she walked off because at first she was given the "I don't really want to talk to you" face. "Why are you here" face. And then when her mom insisted that, "Oh, he's here to talk to you. He wants to talk to you about something," she was like, "Okay, I'll go over there and talk to you." And then she let him lean in on her. And that was a little much for me because especially after he did what he did, I would have rocked his shit. But that would have been me.
I think that if she would have said, like, if I was in that situation and I was the guy that you was talking to and you left to go, if you would have said to me, "Don't leave, I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes, please. Don't leave." And
She
then
didn't
you
say
went.
that,
She
though.
didn't say nothing. She just went over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you right there, you securing like, okay, you go, because I'm gonna let you have your problem because we technically ain't in a relationship.
We not.
But I'm gonna let you have your time because you gotta handle something, and I'm gonna expect that you handle yourself accordingly to be like, hey, you know, this is it, da da da, you know. But I understand, like, hey, you don't want your parents because your mom didn't know, your mom don't know, my mom know, but your mom don't technically know, and so you want to be able to handle that.
His
But
mama?
if
None of the adults knew.
the mom knew, 'cause remember he told the mom, yeah, I'm talking to Keisha. She's like,
Well,
Keisha, and she and the mom
they
started
knew,
going, yeah,
but she also
didn't know that was
put you in a
going.
different spot because when her cousins picked Keisha up from the park the first time, and they was like, because they were so gung ho on the boyfriend previously because they think he going to the NBA, and they said they was talking about the boy that was at the park that she was met, and her mama said, "What boy at the park?" And then she was about to talk to him about it, and then the cousins distracted her, and she was like, "Let me go change my clothes." So she was gonna tell her mama, but she ended up not telling her because the cousins distracted her.
Yeah, and so, but I mean, and then the flowers came too. I think that she probably said when he leaned in, she probably was like, "Well, we didn't get that part." So I think on the next episode, it's gonna go into that part, which
It was the fact of how he leaned in though, and he was too far in. He was on the cheek, kind of neckish.
Yeah,
It was more sensual than what you wanted it to be. And then when you came out of it, he was, but I can't think of the boy's name, but Keisha sent that text message like, "Where you go?" You're like,
yeah,
"Girl, I'm not about to be talking to you
this.
right now because I'm done. Because what I'm not about to do is be played in my face."
I ain't mad at him. Even the mama had his back, so I ain't mad at him. Because I'd have felt some type of way too. Hold on now, and then I would have walked away too. You'd have had to do some very very persuasive things.
She tried to do persuasive things,
but if you it'd have been like, man, me in high school, because even like now, if you go talk, oh man,
he was a whore.
That's first of all, I wasn't a whore. Actually, I wasn't. But if in high school, because I was like, man, even like now, you know, I have that I don't care my
You've
mentality.
always had that I don't care mentality, and it pisses me off.
So like at this time in our marriage,
fight for me. Nigga.
Yeah, at this time in our marriage, yeah, nigga, we hey, what you doing? Where you going? I'm right with you. This is my wife. Who you want? Why you want to talk to my wife? What's up?
As you
All
should.
right, but if we just dating, we only that's your ex. All right, go. You let go of my hand and go talk to him. All right, this take me back to a conversation, not a conversation, because we got to wrap this up. But this takes me back to a Instagram video I was watching while I was taking a nap.
Why does he always have to go to why?
But
why you can't never just?
This goes back. So I was watching this video. This dude was at Walmart. Him and his girl was at Walmart, and he was buying something. For some reason they was buying things, two separate things. He was buying something for his kids and something else. And then she was buying clothes for a trip, right? He was $10 short. He asked his baby mama for $10. And the baby mama flipped out. No, I ain't give you, boy, supposed to have all the money. I gotta buy clothes to go to Puerto Rico. I ain't got time to be helping you out. He like, oh, you ain't got $10. What you got? What she had in her car it wasn't a lot. And so he asking the people like, is she wrong for not giving me? I just gave her $2,000 last week. She can't give me $10.
That's wrong for going into the store and not giving me $10.
And he asking the two dudes behind, they like, hey, and the dude behind was one recording. He like, hey, he like, and I'm like, dude, and I'm sitting like, and I'm like, one dude was like, yeah, she wrong for that. Me, I just like, you need $10, bro. Then for your kids here, bro. I got you. And then whatever. But if in that situation, if that was me and that was you, and you rolled up here with my car, and I just gave you 2 racks. I don't know how. Okay, you like that? Cool. All right. Hey, because he said, hey, put that back. I ain't got $10 here. Just put that back. I'll just keep this for the kids. I would have just, and she was about to ring up her stuff. I'd have got my stuff. I'd have walked to the car, and I would have dipped.
She would have been asking, where you go?
You would have been, oh, yo, she talking about, you got all the money. Nigga, I'm $10 short. You can't help her but out with $10. And then people in the comment like, man, that's what happened when you mess with
materialistic
women and women with low standard, high egos and low standards. All right.
High egos and low standards. That's intense.
Because they got this high ego involved, but they got they standards are low. And
I have very high standards.
You know, but that took me back to that because that'd have been like, hey, I would have been like, or if our kids are at somebody related to you, I'm gonna take you home where the kids at. I'm gonna get my kids. I'm gonna act like somebody call. I'm gonna text my mama and call me real fast to come to see if you want to come see. Hey, yeah, I'll bring the kids over there pretty soon. Hold on, let me go get them from such. You know, you got some. Okay, yeah, cool. I go get my kids, drop you out, go get my kids, and won't see you. All right, and I do all that. And if the kids are with my mama, I'm leaving you right there at Walmart. No ifs, ands, buts. You say some other shit, I might.
What you not about to do is promote
I ain't promote violence.
Foolishness. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out today. Thank you so much for participating and watching and listening and engaging with the Kitchen Table Podcast. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your views. Your accolades are great for us. You can find us at
Kitchen_Table_podcast on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
All right. Leave a comment, review, like, share. See you next week.